find people that are okay with your genitals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what life's about.
Is that your quest, to find people okay with your genitals?
Most people are okay with mine. It's me finding genitals I'm okay with.
What makes okay genitals for you?
Size.
How big?
At least 9.
All right.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah. Mm.
You into having your cervix bruised, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You've probably seen my tweets. No?
Maybe.
Oh, I tweet about it quite often, about how I'd like to have my cervix bruised. I will never forget, I actually had a male talent like a week and a half ago, about a week ago, made a joke on set because I was being I was tired. I was being cunty. And he laughs and he goes, "Keep acting like that, I'm gonna bottom out on you." And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean bottom out on me?" And he was like, "It's when you you put the whole thing and you hit and you try and push through the cervix. Like you're hitting that deep." And I laughed at him and I went, "Please do it." And he went, "What?" And I was like, "No, I want you to. I want you to do that to me. Please." I was like, "That's like, do it." And he was like, "What the?" He thought I was crazy. And I'd worked with I had worked with the director before, and the director was like, "No, that's actually just her. That's like, she's actually into that." And the guy was like, first time I'd ever worked with him, so he didn't know the weird shit I was into. And we had only been doing dialogue. We hadn't gotten to the sex point yet. And he was like, "Okay, sure." Like, he was just so like concerned for my well-being. And he was like, "Don't you have work like again tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, and I want my cervix to continuously be bruised."
Mhm.
I was like, "Because then you bruise it today, and then tomorrow the next guy will hit against it and I'll feel the bruising all over again. It'll be great." And he was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you good?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is what I like. And this is what, that's what I'm into."
There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
What you're into is important.
Exactly.
I don't know why anyone would think otherwise. Like,
I don't know. Some people are weird.
some people are puritanical and don't know any better.
Yeah.
I feel like it mostly comes from a place of ignorance, not like being weird. I just think they're just uneducated.
I would agree with that. Uneducated is a big thing. Yeah. Between that and a lot of people themselves have not tried things. So when I tell them that I'm into things, they're like, "What the fuck?" Especially when I work with like older male talent. A lot of older male talent are very vanilla. Like very, very vanilla. And they're like, the most they'll do is like, yeah, they'll f me rough, but they won't like choke me out. They won't slap me around. Like none of that.
Well, like, how choked out are you looking to get choked out?
I want to be unconscious and then back awake. Like, that's what I want. And I understand most companies don't allow that.
Well, yeah,
I understand that.
Visa doesn't want it.
Yeah, I totally understand that. However, you can play it off on most paid sites, and I have. Because when I pass out, my eyes just roll into the back of my head. But my eyes are still technically open. So it doesn't look like I'm unconscious.
No, it's just lights. Oh, is she having an exorcism right now? Like,
yeah, you can technically play it off if you do it right. So I have.
That's post work, like just CGI irises.
So I've played it off a few times. Just that like my eyes rolled back, not that like, that I was unconscious. As long as you don't state that you were unconscious, they can't really tell.
Is this what you want in real life too?
Yes.
Okay.
I recently had a guy, and I was like, we were texting. We had been on a few dates, and he asked me. He was like, "I need to know." He's like, "This for my own personal." He's like, "I need to know. Are you like into kinky bed?" He's like, "I know you're a porn star. You've probably into some things. You've definitely tested more things than I have. What are you into?" And I was like, "No, I totally respect this conversation. I'm glad that you're asking my boundaries and like what I'm into."
Right.
And I told him. I gave him the list. I literally have a notes app with.
I want to see this notes app. I'm curious.
It's a long list.
I can read. My eyes work.
Oh my God. It's got like 30 things on it. Easily.
Oh my God, 30 line items. Oh my God, I don't know how I'll ever make it through that. I want to read this shit. Break it out now. I want the audience to hear this. Break it out.
God.
It's only 30 line items. Break it out.
I know it. I have it memorized. I don't have to break it out, but
Well, then get on with it.
okay, cool. Choking is the first one. If you've ever seen any of my stuff, I'm always choked. I can't get off without being choked.
Okay.
Okay. Slapping in any form.
Okay.
If you bruise my face, extra points.
Cool.
Hair pulling, love that. I feel like those are almost standard things though.
Well, it depends on who you're. It's like people have extensions, and last time anyone wants to get their extensions pulled out.
I have real hair, so you can.
Oh my God, you fancy. Got real hair.
I have real hair, so you can pull mine. Hair pulling, cervix bruising, which is something that most women are not into because it can cause extreme discomfort depending on the nerves you have around your cervix.
I know some other size queens that are all about that cervix bruise.
It's usually size queens that are into it.
Yeah,
That's usually, we're usually the ones that are like, no, bruise us, please.
right.
Off camera, really into anal.
I mean, this is all off camera. Like I'm asking about your off camera fucking.
Literally, all this is on and off camera.
No, I don't give a about like what people book you for. I want to know what the
No.
off camera is.
Yeah, well, for sure. But this is off camera for sure. Anal. Love anal. Bondage in any form. And I genuinely mean any form. I am cool with being plastic wrapped and tied up and gagged and beaten until I can't walk and then.
Okay.
Cool. I loved your reaction to that. Cling film. It's great. Yeah. Sorry. Cling film caught me off guard.
The chair's leather for a reason.
Happens. Gagging in multiple forms, whether that's underwear, ball gags, hand in my mouth, whatever.
Right.
Sensory deprivation. I've actually been in a sensory deprivation tank.
Fancy.
Yeah, I knew a guy whose dad owned a salon that had one. And I was like, let me be in there for like 15 minutes. That way my senses start to like shut down and then come in and me. And he was like, okay. It was great.
Yeah, but then you're still fucking underwater, which is never fun.
No, he like, so next thing, I'm into drowning as well. And he was like partially drowning me as he was doing it. So he was tilting me up. So my head kept going back up underwater. And like, if you're like this and like the dick is going in here, this is my vagina, dick is going in here, head here, water here. So my head was kind of bouncing up and down.
Oh, I have to break it to you. That's your elbow.
But pretend that's my vagina.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
They look very different.
They did look very different.
I mean, I don't know for certain. I do not have a mental image of your vagina like just burned in. I can see your elbow.
Thank you. But yeah,
You're
so that brings me on to the next thing. Drowning. Love drowning. I love it. Having my face shoved underwater is like hot.
Do you want to be waterboarded while you get?
I've done that and it's great.
All right.
Yeah. Love it. Like the full like Chinese torture method with the wet rag that's like slowly being dripped with water.
Whoa. Breaks. That's American.
Is it?
I mean, that's what we did to people in Gitmo.
I don't know. Someone told me it was a Chinese torture technique.
No. Chinese water torture involves drops on the head and shit. Waterboarding is very American. How dare you try to steal that for someone else?
How dare I? I'm so sorry. I genuinely thought that was like an Asian technique. I was told that it was.
We're sending you back to Canada on that.
Sorry.
See? Very Canadian of you.
I am what I am. Yeah, love drowning in multiple forms. That brings me on to the next one. CNC.
Machining?
Consensual not consent.
So kind of machining.
Kind of. Yeah, in a sense. Yeah.
I don't even know where that was going, but yeah.
Yeah. Guns. Love guns.
How very un-Canadian of you.
Why do you think I lived in Texas?
Poor life choices.
Yes and no. Love guns. Love to be threatened with them. In a sexual manner. I should preface that. I love to be threatened with them in a sexual manner only when it is a 2 consenting parties.
Okay, I was about to say, like, so if dude has his pants around his thighs and like has a gun, like, fair, it's
All of a
sexual.
sudden, he brings this clip up in a court of law and is like, but she said it was okay.
Like, I had my dick out and a gun. Like, she's into that, right?
No. Like guns. Knives. Knives are super dope. Love knife play. Which then draws into my next 2, carving. Can't do it because of my current job, but if you actually look at close pictures of my thighs, I do have little things carved into my thighs.
Is it like full on Westworld in your inner thigh? Like trying to find the entrance to the labyrinth on your inner thigh?
Thankfully, I don't scar very much, so you have to like really look at it, and they're kind of like silverish, so they like blend in.
Well, now I lost my erection. Like, you don't scar, I'm out.
I don't really scar much.
I'm out. I'm out.
I love carvation. Like carving, love that. I love being cut up by knives.
If I can't write my name like it's a tree, like.
Exactly. That's exactly what should happen.
Right. But if it's not there forever, I'm out. Like, that's such.
Totally fair.
Like, who wants this temper? No. Like,
I know.
Gotta put an MS in that.
So boring.
That's not boring. Going away is boring.
That's fair. Love blood. Blood is super dope.
It's a thing, yeah.
Yeah, love blood. Blood play is super dope. I love being covered in my own blood and other people's blood.
So through wounds or period sex?
Both.
Cool.
There's just something really feral about blood. I love.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I have been on record multiple times where like nothing makes me feel like more like a man than when I'm covered from here to here in period blood.
Right? Yeah, totally.
Like, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.